So hey guys, been a while since I did one of my talky, opinionated, rant style, long form videos. But first things first, all of the drawings you see on screen right now have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And I'm sure a lot of them are actually going to be collabs because that's what I have a lot of backup footage for. So if you hear random dings throughout me talking, that's me crediting people who did the sketches kind of thing, because I like giving proper credit where credit's due. All the inking and coloring / characters belong to me, but I didn't do the sketches, so just wanted to make that little, you know, preface to that, preface, whatever. And I'm probably going to be dating this by the time this goes up, because I'm actually recording this audio right around when it's happening, but the video is not going to go up until later. And it's about the whole YouTube ad apocalypse 5.0 at this point. I'm seeing so many people lose their shit because YouTube recently as in today, made an announcement saying how they're changing their policy again. And this is kind of like when the first ad apocalypse happened after the PewDiePie thing, where people were jumping ship, freaking out, making Patreons, e-begging like crazy, and doing all the shit I hate people doing, because it just tells me that you're not in proper control of your finances and that you're not in proper control of your life, and that kind of bothers me. And this is coming from someone who, I don't think I'm perfect. I know I'm not perfect, and I'm not in perfect control of my finances or my life or shit. But this is gonna be just a rambling, talking, opinionated video, so if you don't like those, feel free, whatever. But honestly, I'm seeing people, like, everyone talk about it now and losing their shit over, like, oh, well, I just got monetization and now it's gone, and no. And I agree, that sucks. I really think YouTube should have grandfathered people in. But this is something I've actually been talking to my real life friends about for a long time, and no one seemed to believe me. And now that this stuff's happening, I'm just kind of like, I fucking told you so. Now I'm paraphrasing here, but they said something along the lines in this email that they sent out to some people, where I didn't get one, but I know a lot of people did, where it was saying stuff like, oh, well, over 40-50% of last year, people were making six figures on YouTube, and so now we're changing our policy because of the whole Logan Paul thing. And what we're going to be doing now is, if you make like less than 4,000 views or minutes a year, and you have at least 1,000 subscribers, you can't apply for monetization, you can't do this and that. And while that sucks, it really, really does. I'm coming from a time where I've actually been on YouTube for a very, very long time. I've been on YouTube, since before I actually made my DeviantArt, so that, says a lot there. I've had different accounts, obviously. This is my first, professional account, I guess you could call it. It didn't start off that way. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure people are already like, well, Michelle, you monetize your videos, you do this and that. No. And yes, I do, but I don't, at the time of recording this, I don't make enough off of YouTube to warrant YouTube. I really don't. That's why, I enjoy making these type of videos where I'm just me talking and art in the background, because they're easy to make, they're fun to make, and I enjoy doing them. If YouTube and video editing and, recording audio was my full-time job, I would probably put more effort into it, I would put more time into it, but I've always just done YouTube for fun, and even now, I still don't even make enough to have a constant payout, which should let you know how much I'm making off of YouTube. I make all of my income off of secondary sources. I make it off of my print shop. I make it off of Patreon. I make it off of commissions, mostly commissions. I make it off of, tips, people with the Buy Me a Ko-fis. And I make it off of side jobs that I take, because I do take side jobs. That's actually really surprising when people hear that they're like, oh my god, why would you take side jobs? And I'm like, well, one day a week to tell people where to park, and it's $300, why the fuck not? I can do that. I can wear that orange vest. I can tell people to park one day a week sometimes and get $300 and a free lunch. I don't see a problem with that, or taking up random seasonal work here and there, just because I've always been a person. I sort of picked this up from my parents, because my parents never had one source of income. They've always had multiple sources of income, even when they were making a lot of money. My mom does real estate, as does my dad. But before that, my mom did real estate. My dad kind of did real estate, but he also had a day job. And my mom also had, she invested in property, so that helped. And they were also doing stuff, like even now they're doing stuff where my parents have their own, like, concert ticket selling website. It's legal. So they do that. They do real estate. They do, my dad has a nonprofit website where he gets to go and talk to colleges where they pay him, to talk. I've helped out with his nonprofit constantly. And that's just something I've grown up with, was having secondary and sometimes even, third forms of income. And that's kind of how I like having it, so that way not all of your eggs are in one basket. And the issue here is people are jumping ship before they even saw their potential, and all it's telling to me is that you're in this for the money. You're not in this because you enjoy doing this. You're in this because you want to be the next PewDiePie, the next Logan Paul, the next, for artist YouTubers, the next Jazza, the next Bailey J, the next Holly Brown. You want to be, for gamers, you want to be the next Markiplier. You want to be the next Jacksepticeye. You want to be the next Game Grumps. Well, it's good to have fun goals like that. You shouldn't have that be your staple. Be like, well, they make millions of thousands of dollars, and all they do is play video games all day. When you can literally watch 1,000 videos on YouTube that when people do this as their full-time job, and they do take it seriously, it isn't just sitting in front of a computer, talking into a microphone with random shit in the background, like I'm doing right now. Now, would I like YouTube to take care of me and pay my bills someday? Sure, I'm sure everybody would. But if my YouTube didn't blow up the past summer, again, the time of recording this, I'm dating it, so would I still be making YouTube videos? Yeah, I still would, because I like doing these. They're fun. I've been hit with the yellow dollar sign of death a lot of times, and I just kind of shrug it off, and I'm like, oh, well, if it doesn't get monetized, doesn't get monetized. If it does get monetized, cool. Because I don't have it be my main source of income. YouTubing isn't my dream job. My dream job is what I'm doing. I'm getting paid to draw shit that I enjoy drawing. I get paid to make other people happy, which is what I kind of always wanted as a kid. For those of you who don't know, starting out, before I realized I wanted to be an artist, I actually wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to help people. And then when I realized I didn't have the heart to be a nurse, because I couldn't tell people that their family was dying, I thought, oh, I know, I'll be a teacher, because I was a teacher's aide for about 2-ish years. And I really liked being a teacher's aide, and it really inspired me, and I really wanted to help kids, and making those kids happy and making those people happy made me feel fulfilled and happy. And then I went to college, and I realized I'm doing this all for the wrong reasons. I'm making money, making people happy, doing what I enjoy doing. And it hasn't been an easy ride. It really hasn't. I'm actually finally in a place now where I'm somewhat stable, and that is in part to YouTube. Not because YouTube pays me, but because YouTube is kind of like amazing advertisement, realistically. I've met so many amazing people. I've had tablet reviews. I've had authors contact me recently for me to help design their books for them. I've had people wanting to be my editor for my dream stories, all because of the shit I do on YouTube pretty much for free. And would I keep doing it? Yes. Now, that being said, do I want people to not watch my videos? No, I want people to see them. Why else would I be fucking making them? I'm not making them to hoard them and be like, this is my beautiful art and my random opinions that no one's going to listen to. Because that doesn't seem to make any sense. At that point, I would just keep a journal and I would just write my feelings in it, you know? And that's what I really just bothers me about all of this is it's getting back to the e-bagging. It's getting back to the people being unrealistic about their fan base, about their following. You know, people shit on YouTubers like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier for admitting that they know that more than half their fan base is kids. Newsflash, you want to know who has a shit ton of free time to just binge watch YouTube because they don't have jobs? It's kids. Oh, who would have thought? And this isn't me talking down to kids. I love kids. I've had kids tell me that because of me, they want to be an artist. They don't want to be a YouTuber. They want to be an artist. That means so much more to me that I made someone believe they could be an artist than someone telling me I want to be a YouTuber. Because while there are amazing YouTubers out there, there are amazing YouTubers with amazing editing, amazing, they script all their stuff, they make amazing content. Same with animators and artists on YouTube, where they put all their time and their effort into making their content because it's their job and it makes them happy and it makes them fulfilled. I'm not talking to them. I'm not. Because I'm pretty sure even if they weren't getting paid, granted they probably won't be doing it as much, they would still be making videos. Because all of the big YouTubers started off where we all started off now. They started off at 0 subscribers and then just built their way up. Very few people, unless they piggybacked off of somebody else or they had some other following, just decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a YouTube today, I'm gonna get 10,000 followers, I'm gonna get 1,000,000 something views, I'm gonna get 10,000 dislikes and a gazillion likes and shit. Because that's not how, stupid phone. Because that's not how it usually happened. Back when I started doing YouTube a long time ago, when I was in freaking middle school, no one could get monetized. I remember the only people who even kind of made money off of YouTube were people who had to sign up with a network, had to become a partner. It was this whole ordeal. And the only reason I was able to do it was because it was so easy to do it. And this is when I was telling people, I'm like, YouTube's going to start cracking down on people before the Logan Paul, before the PewDiePie. I was telling people, I'm like, YouTube's going to have to hammer down on how they're getting people monetized because of the people literally making 6 to 10 figures a year on YouTube. And you can Google how much that is because it varies, from USD to euros to all the other currencies. And people don't seem to realize YouTube hasn't been around that long. And a perfect example of this is the whole Facebook, MySpace thing. This is something I've said constantly, and Aerofx and I have talked about in our podcasts, where sooner or later there's going to be something like YouTube. Oh, well, but Michelle, what about VidMe? What about Vimeo? What about, what's the Nostalgia Critic one? The guy with the glasses.com. They make money and they're not on YouTube. Well, yeah. But you want to know how they started that way? To be a YouTube clone. They didn't want to be their own new thing. They wanted to be a YouTube clone and then they couldn't keep up with YouTube. Right now, YouTube is the monopoly. But eventually monopolies crumble. And do I think YouTube's going anywhere anytime soon? No. But there's going to be other things popping up. There's going to be other websites. I've recently heard, and I'm not doing this because I hate the platform, but I've heard people are moving to Facebook. Apparently Facebook videos are doing really, really well right now. And cool, good for them, if that works for you, but I hate their format and I hate this. I really just don't like their website and how they work, but tons of people are doing it. Tons of people are making a living that way. And the more and more I see it, the more people want to be YouTubers because they think it's an easy job. They think that they don't have to work. And this is an issue I've seen a lot. When I was seeing this in fucking retail, when I was working retail, was I would work with people who didn't want to do their work. They wanted to show up, they wanted to get a paycheck, they didn't want to do their work. And those were usually people who never got fired. They did just enough to keep their jobs, or they were related / seeing / doing things or knew somebody where they were working, and that's the only reason they kept their job. It's a shitty fact of life, but it's a fact of life. And I'm seeing that more and more now with the people who are e-begging and the people who are freaking out and the people who are like, who are under 10,000 subscribers and they have a Patreon and they're like, oh my god, guys, okay, there's like 10,000 of you out there. If just one of you donated $1 a month to my Patreon, oh, I would be able to, yeah, a lot of people would be able and be happy to get that much money. Anybody would, realistically. But did you ever really notice when you like check out other YouTubers' Patreons where they're under 100-ish K, often, not always, less than 200 patrons, when they can have anywhere between 90 and 80K. Now, granted, people can donate whatever they want, so, maybe that 200 is a lot of money. Maybe that 200 is just 200. And for some people, that seems like a lot of money, but it's really not. My Patreon is helping me, and I'm super happy I have it. But again, if I was to close it out, yeah, I'd be disappointed in myself, but I know all I have to do is, okay, now I have to do more commissions. It's because I know how to do secondary work. And a lot of people don't do that, so then they do things where they're like, oh, well, YouTube was my dream job, it's all I ever thought about doing, it's all I ever wanted to do, and no. And why did you want to do it? Sit here and ask, why did you want to do it? Did you want to do it because you actually enjoyed doing this, or do you want to do it because you wanted to become a millionaire? It's the same reason of when I was going to school, when I was in high school, I had so many people who wanted to be graphic designers. That was like the big thing when I was in high school was, I want to be a graphic designer. I want to be a graphic designer. And I knew a lot of people who weren't artists going into graphic design, and then they would take the classes in it, they would get the degrees in it, and then they would realize how hard it was to get a graphic design job. And now they have this, $80,000 worth of piece of paper, and they're working in a hotel. And they didn't expect to be working in a hotel, but they're the happiest they've ever been working in this hotel, working full-time, than getting that stupid graphic design degree. Because they chased the money, they didn't chase their dream. Now, I have a lot of young viewers out there who are like, oh my god, I'm freaking out, I'm going into middle school, I'm going into high school, I'm going into college. It's okay to not know. I didn't know. Like I said at the start of this video, when I was a little kid, I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And then it went from being a nurse to being a teacher. And then it went from being a teacher to being an artist. It's totally fine to change your mind and not know what you want to do, but you should be doing something that can support you, that you can work for, that you enjoy doing and don't get tired of, and something that, might have always been there, but you didn't realize it. There are a lot of people out there who are great at video editing. They're amazing at it. They're great at writing scripts. They're great at writing stories. They're great at reviewing. And then they have platforms like YouTube, like Twitter, like things like that, where they can get out to their audience and let their reviews be heard. That's great. This is what they like doing. And the funny thing, almost all successful YouTubers, if you really think about it, all had secondary jobs before they became full-time YouTubers. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because they actually enjoyed doing this as a hobby, and then eventually over time started making enough money and enough stability to make this their full-time job. Fancy to think that such an idea could be possible. People just automatically have a dream, and they think that dream can become a reality, but they don't want to work for it. I really don't make that much money. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to throw numbers out here because I can't for legal reasons, but I really don't make that much. I cannot live on my own. It's a perfect example right there. With where I live in California, even working full-time doing this, and I make good money, I do not have enough money to be able to afford an apartment and the amenities and food and everything else I need with what I make right now. But I'm not alone. Does that mean I'm being a mooch? No. I pay all of my bills. I take care of all of my pets. I make sure I have savings. I make sure I have money set aside for taxes, which is another big thing people don't realize when they're doing things like this, is you have to pay fucking taxes. And when you do this and you see it and you see the reality of it, you realize how hard people work to make their dreams possible, and it makes it more rewarding. So, when these things come out, so when YouTube does things like this, you notice who's not freaking out? The people who aren't freaking out are the ones who have their shit together. The ones who are freaking out are the ones who, second they got a paycheck, they spent it. Who spam their Patreon nonstop, who spam their commissions nonstop, who openly talk on Twitter how fucking poor they are, and how sad their life is, and how if only people helped them, they would get out of it. Well, you know what? Sometimes you need to get yourself up, and you need to get yourself out of the dirt, and you need to do it by yourself. Now, everyone needs a support system, but the issue with people like this, and people like Logan Paul, and people like the big YouTubers that do stupid shit out there, is they're making so much money that they lose touch with reality. They lose touch with what makes them human. Perfect example, the Logan Paul thing. For those of you guys who don't know, he's some stupid big YouTuber that only got big because his brother was I think a Disney star, and his brother got big on YouTube doing stupid shit, and so because he was related to somebody, he got, super famous. That's what kind of fucking happens in this world now. And he and his friends just decided to, we're just going to spend God knows how many thousands of dollars and go to Japan and go film a dead body in the suicide woods. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because it's not, there's thousands of videos out there about that shit. But he thought that was okay. Granted, now he's probably seeing the repercussions because of just how much backlash it had. But he had to plan this. He had to buy the camping gear. He had to talk to his friends who are all yes men. And that's the issue. The borderline issue is these people surround themselves with yes men. Michelle, what's a yes man? It's exactly what it fucking says. It's when someone's making so much fucking money that they end up using their money to support other people. And most of the time, it's out of the goodness of their heart. But when someone makes a certain amount of money, the goodness of their heart goes away. This is now a person taking care of you. This is now, this person's paying my house payment. This person's paying my rent. This person's paying my bills. This person's giving me money to do their shit. So I don't have to work. So are you going to tell the person that is literally supporting you, you shouldn't do that? A good person, yes. A yes man, no. Because all they want to do is be out for number one. And that's the issue here. I'm not saying, be a negative Nancy to everyone out there, but you need to have someone to give you a goddamn reality check. And that's the issue here, is there are so many people who don't get that damn reality check. And granted, if I was making money like that, you bet your ass, yes, I would be doing the same thing. I would be taking care of my parents. I would be helping my friends through college. I would, help get rid of my friend's student loan debt if I had that kind of disposable income. You bet your ass I would. But would I want my friends to suck my ass every time I gave them money and tell them an idea? I'd be like, hey guys, I'm gonna do this really clearly stupid thing for views. Should I do it? What do the friends see? Oh, well, if it does really well, then we'll get a fuck ton of money because we're helping them. And because of that, oh, it'll be easy. So I'm going to lose all my moral compass and I'm going to agree with them blindly like I'm a fucking peon. And this isn't just a YouTube thing. Things like this are in business everywhere. I know people who literally don't do their job and just suck their boss's ass all day. They just follow around and go, yes, you're doing great, sir. Yes, you're amazing. Yes, oh, that's a great idea. Let's totally cut people's healthcare and let's do shit like that so you can buy, you and your family a vacation home. Oh, yes, sir, you are doing so good. Yes, men have been around for forever, but that's just it. They're not gonna mess with the golden goose. They're not gonna mess with their meal ticket because they're not dumb. It makes them money. So the moral compass goes out the window. And it just makes me so fucking mad. Because it makes me see people lose touch with reality. And then when I tell people I'm self-employed, they give me this weird look like, oh, you're one of those people. You know, you're one of the people who don't shower for challenges. You're one of the people who eats a fucking Tide Pod because you think it's a funny meme. And common sense just goes out the window, and then you surround yourself with yes men who support you because they want to just get a little bit of that limelight, just a little bit, so they can bounce off and do their own thing. They're not doing it because they care about you. They're doing it so they can suck you, and they can get a bit from you, so then they can do their own thing. Do you ever notice why that tends to happen when, like, a lot of bigger YouTubers have, like, editor friends? I'm not saying you can't hire an editor, you can't hire, you know, a camera person, you can't do this and that if you have the money. Go for it, you're giving someone a job, I'm totally supportive of that. But then you see them be like, oh, well, then they can say on their resume, oh yeah, well, I edited so-and-so's videos, so now I can charge a fuck ton of money because I edited so-and-so's videos, and then I'm going to leave this person in the dark because now I'm following the money. This has been a thing that's been going on for forever in every business besides YouTube. And it's things that people aren't seeing, you know? And I know I went on so many tangents, but I'm very opinionated right now, and this is all shit I've been wanting to get out that have to do with these topics, because you see the people who, you know, steal other people's content and they do it for monetary value. You see people who steal other people's artwork and throw it on designs to make a quick buck. You know, you see people all the time try to befriend people to bounce off of someone's popularity so they themselves can do their own thing. Now, I've recently, as you guys know, I've gotten close to a couple of YouTubers. Like, I talk to Zodiac Lord all the time. Aerofx and I are personal friends. I'm always on, like, Pastel's channel and stuff, and we do live streams and junk. And people have been like, oh, isn't it weird that all the, like, you guys all have your own little niche group and stuff like that? And granted, yes, sometimes that happens, and it did happen because of YouTube. But I'm happy I'm friends with them because I actually care about the person. You know, I've even talked to, I'm not going to name who it is because I don't want people to think that I'm being a kiss ass. I've been talking to a semi-big art YouTuber recently off and on, and we kind of get along really well, you know, but am I using them to boost myself, to suck off their popularity? No. I'm happy they contacted me because I support their work ethic. I think they're a great person. I think they have a wonderful head on their shoulders, you know, for being a realistic business person and all this other junk, you know. And then you see people like them who also have secondary forms of income, who don't just rely on YouTube, who rely on other, you know, forms of it, and they're doing fine as well. And that's just something that people need to understand is, you know, you need to work hard for something, because if you don't work hard for it, you're not going to appreciate it. If I just, out of the blue, made a YouTube channel, and because I was related or doing somebody who was super famous on YouTube, and I woke up one day and I had 10 million subscribers, just in one day, I would feel so awestruck, and I would probably get a giant ego about it because I didn't earn it. You know, when my channel blew up, I constantly talk about this because it's something that just happened. It's something that I worked hard on that video. I worked hard on talking about, and it was the artist scams video, and then a couple of other ones. A couple of my story times blew up. I really meant what I was saying in those videos. And at that time, I made those videos when I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers. I remember because I had, like, just done my raffle for my 500th subscriber. 500! And now at the time of recording this, I'm almost at, like, I think I'm almost at 24K. And it's happened so fast, but I'm honored about it because I worked for this. Granted, yes, it happened very quickly, but like I explained earlier, if this hadn't have happened, I'd still be making YouTube videos. All of the same videos, again, probably minus product reviews, would all be the same. I'd still be doing story times. I'd still be doing Let's Plays with Cody randomly. I would still be doing live streams with friends. I would still be drawing. I would still be doing advice videos. I would still be doing story times. I would still be doing redraws. Because they're fun. Because I enjoy doing them. Because I enjoy bringing other people joy. And while that sounds really cheesy, like I said, I'm not making enough money to even guarantee I get paid every month. So then, Michelle, why do you do it? If you're working and you're doing this, why? You're not getting paid. It's because I like doing it. It's because it makes me happy. It's because it doesn't take a lot of work for me. And that being said, I'm not shitting on the people who work really hard for it, but they enjoy doing it, or they wouldn't be doing it as long as they have been. You know, this is also why you're noticing bigger YouTubers trying to break out of the box. A perfect example of this I can think of at the top of my head was Jordan Underneath. He did, spooky, random video game commentary kind of things. Not like Let's Plays, but like talking about video games and stuff. And then out of fucking nowhere, he just decided to do these really weird, artsy skit videos. And I give him credit. This is probably something he's wanted to do for a long-ass time. And he's doing it now. And people were backlashing him for it. But am I saying that he started doing his channel, doing stuff that, he was doing just for money? No, I'm pretty sure he believed that he really enjoyed doing it. And I'm sure he did enjoy doing it. You can see it in his work. But it was getting tiresome. It was getting monotonous. It wasn't being fulfilling like the passion was when you first make that video for fun. When you first do that live stream just to talk to people. When you first give your client a picture you've worked on and they tell you that you made their day. That getting this stupid little picture that probably, depending on what it was, might not even taken me 30 minutes to do. I made them happy that day. I put a smile on someone's face because this is what I enjoy doing. You guys know me. I am not going to be the bubbly, let's be magical and unicorns and princesses, stupid ukulele music YouTuber. I'm gonna be me. I'm TwistedDisaster, Michelle Porter, and I'm doing this because it makes me feel fulfilled. It's a fun hobby. It's enjoyable. And I'm pretty sure this video is also going to get demonetized. And if it doesn't, fine. So be it. Because I'm going to keep making videos as long as I can. And I'm going to keep talking to you guys as long as I can. And so, I feel like I've rambled enough on here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my my opinions and my rambles and my tangents and the Michie tangent drinking game that people have come up with. And as always, I will. See you guys next time. Bye.